Well, when I was pretty young, like preschool maybe, I had this action figure. Well, okay, well it was more like a doll, really. It was a bunch of polyester strips just sewn together and stuffed with cotton. It was made to resemble a superhero. Superman, I think. Or Batman. I don't know. Well, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, this thing was my life back in the day. I would take it everywhere. You know, actually, I think it was Superman because he had the cape. You know, Batman doesn't have the cape, does he? Okay, well, that doesn't matter. Anyway, I would control its flight path, like I was some kind of god, you know? Because who doesn't want to feel more powerful than a superhero, right? Well, I guess I just loved that feeling a little too much because during t-ball practice, I would fly it around instead of actually, you know, practicing. And my coach would yell at me for it. And I guess my dad didn't like that, coach yelling at me, because I never went to t-ball after that. Well, okay, anyway, a couple weeks later, I remember I was with my dad in a car after a wedding, I think, and my dumbass thought it would be a good idea to roll down the window and fly the thing out the window like it was going at Mach speeds to reverse the planet or whatever, you know? And of course, it slipped out of my grip and it vanished into the outside abyss. And I distinctly remember the fear in my dad's eye because he knew I was about to raise hell, right? And I did raise hell, awfully. And I remember the week after that, I locked myself in my room and I cried, and I cried, and I cried because my favorite anything just poof, vanished, you know? Like that. You know, I had never felt a sadness like that before in my short little life. And at the end of my solitude, you know, my dad, he knocks on my door, opens it up, and he surprises me with, you guessed it, a brand new doll. Same shitty stitching job and the same long cape. Except, it wasn't the same doll, you know? It didn't have the little rip in the cape from the last one or the grease stain on the chest. It was just some doll. And, you know, to this day, I can only really picture and remember the sadness from losing the damn thing. But I can't, for the life of me, remember if it was Batman or Superman. You know? Isn't that crazy?
To Emily. The faintest sound of Meghan Trainor's bass notes and treble hatred underscored our evening. I had just parked my cherry red car in the Dollar General parking lot, a place sacred to the two of us. It was our spot to talk drama, share hidden opinions we were ashamed to tell anyone else, and this was the place I asked you to be my girlfriend, and it was the place where we both decided to be best friends until we died. My car seat was all the way back while yours was upright. You were leaning out the window to gaze at the countless bright dots in the sky, and I was content with looking out the sunroof. The summer's breeze blew so slowly as though it wanted us to stay, to stop, and to ponder forever. I wanted to, and I hoped you did too. You said, I want every day to be like this. And those words slid out of your mouth as quickly as they rushed into my ears. Every syllable, note, beat caused my heart to throb as your wish flew out the sunroof to be among the shooting stars and hopeful wishes of other dumb high schoolers. I simply said, I do too. What a dream. The two of us every night sipping on warm Sonic sodas, listening to bad pop music you pretended to like, staring at a sky we hoped would hear us. Time was not our friend that night. Time had seemed determined to keep us from happiness, as it seems to do to many. In the morning, you would be driving to the side of Missouri opposite of mine. We would be an entire state apart when for 7 years I was scared to be even a classroom apart. It was getting close to 1 a.m. when our parents had told us to be home at 12:30. A tear began gliding down your cheek, and you wiped it away, hoping I didn't notice, and I pretended I hadn't. As we hurriedly squeeze a year's worth of conversations in the span of mere minutes, you wrap your arms around my neck. You said, I love you. And those words have always felt so hollow to hear. This expression of love has always seemed like an obligation, but here, when you hugged me tighter than I had ever been held, love filled my soul. I felt weightless, powerless, sad. I felt love. I told you I loved you too. After that, I dropped you off by your car in the church parking lot. And I watched you drive towards your future, knowing you were bound to touch stars. I stayed parked alone for a moment. And I opened my sunroof. I prayed that you'd remember me, because I knew I could never forget you. After receiving a text that you'd gotten home, I began driving home too. The future clutched my wrist. It pulled me as hard as it pulled yours. Three years later, I still love you every day. To Emily.
Ni home á? Ni食飯未？係咪凍嗰度？落雨嗎？我咪好叻講廣東話。你得問 Cathy 幫你睇我，因為我唔知道點講嘅難話。 多謝爸，你幫我俾錢俾學校啊。多謝爸，你幫我整好個屋企，幾時需要。多謝爸，你冇俾我死啊。你知道你做錯嗎？點解你冇做錯？點解你冇講你做錯？這樣係好難俾我believe 你有好多好喺你心啊。You know 我冇識講I'm sorry in 廣東話。我諗你唔知道添。我冇見你好多，冇事啊。Because 你唔喺呢度，我學點整好多嘢俾我自己啊。因為我冇要整好辛苦俾媽。我係你一個仔，我知道我需要做好。我要做好，因為我覺得係 good man 啊，man of the house after 你啊。但係好難啊，因為冇自己一齊啊。你知道我鍾意玩 Minecraft 嗎？你知道我鍾意食皮蛋粥嗎？Actually 我冇食蛋。你知道我鍾意做大戲好耐啦。I'm sorry 我冇做 engineering 似你要。我諗你有care 俾我，我唔知道幾多係俾你，或俾我啊。我唔係講你係壞人啦，我唔係做嘅錯把。Cathy and Joey 錫你好多啊。我講呢啲，因為我要你知道，我唔係鬧你啊，我冇 hate 你啊。我要你知道，好難俾我 forgive， 好難俾我 forget， 好難俾我 call 你我爸。我唔知道點整返呢啲，我唔知道我需要。我唔知道我要。你好嗎？你食飯未？係咪凍嗰度？學醫嗎
？I don't know if I have the strength to say sorry, but I'll say thank you for all the good you've done for me. You told me what to do and what not to be, but it was you that set the cage from which I'd be set free. didn't need to be here to keep our spirits down. You made sure Mom would walk around keeping that same old frown. She's had that frown for 20 years now, almost 30. All because your cowardly ass decided to do her dirty. They say to never judge a book by its cover. But what about judging a man by the covers he's under? Can't even imagine how she felt when you told her that I'd have a half-sister that's only 2 months older. It's all in the past now, but it's still hard to swallow. All the ashy burnt breadcrumbs you left for me to follow. Thanks again, Dad, for only being half a man. I'll more than make up for that, being the man I am.